Going through a divorce at any age can be extremely difficult. However, we are finding more and more retirement age couples are doing just that as they enter the next phase of their life. My name is Brenda Rolli. I'm an accredited asset management specialist with Provident Financial Consultants, and today I'm going to give you some practical financial tips to help you as you enter what may be called the gray divorce. One of the first things you should look at is your cash flow. This is your income and your expenses. Most likely after a divorce, these are going to change quite a bit and you want to get a clear picture where you stand. Another tip to consider is oftentimes one spouse made the majority of financial decisions in the marriage. If this was not you and you weren't involved in these conversations, now is the time to set clear goals for yourself and build a strategy to help you achieve those goals. This can be done with the help of a professional if you are unsure where to start. Another point to consider, insurance. This is a time where you should get your own individual insurance policies, whether that be for auto, health, homeowners insurance, and life insurance. It's also a good time to review your beneficiaries for life insurance policies and for your retirement plans. I have experience with this in that a client had a pension from a former employer, was divorced some 20 years ago, and swore up and down that he had changed the beneficiary on that pension. When I pressed him to look at it, sure enough, it was his former wife. So that was a big surprise. Glad we caught it. You don't want something like that happening. Another point to consider is if you are looking at Social Security benefits later on when you're of retirement age, filing later, is that you still may be eligible to file on a higher income earning spouse's benefit if you were the lower income spouse. Okay, there are rules to this. You do have to have been married at least 10 years and not remarried. So this is something to be aware of, especially if you're at that point where your marriage could be almost 10 years. Had this happen as well. A client came time to file for Social Security benefits, had no idea that she could have filed on an ex-spouse benefit. Unfortunately, her marriage lasted 9 years and 7 months before it was finalized. So waiting just a few months would have made a big difference. Also, of course, we can't forget about taxes. Taxes and filing of taxes should be considered as well. After your divorce, you're going to be filing single, higher tax rates, so you may want to consider raising your withholding on income, distributions, anything of that nature. Also, you'll want to consider and talk to a tax professional. If you are going through the divorce but it is not finalized yet, you may want to consider filing married separately for that year, and they'll give you some advice on whether that is an option for you or not. Last thing to consider is related to taxes. The law changed for alimony payments in 2020. Previously, they were taxable. They are no longer taxable to the person receiving alimony payments, which also means the person who is making those alimony payments cannot deduct them. So, things to be aware of. These are not all of the considerations when you are dealing with divorce. I know that divorce can be a very hard topic to discuss, very uncomfortable. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And I hope these tips were helpful.